Hey, this is Jonesy from Jonester TV coming at you with a review for the newest episode of Arrow, Season 5, Episode 3, A Matter of Trust. In this episode, we, of course, saw new drug, Stardust, enter the markets, a guy fall into a vat, and, of course, get the ability to not feel pain. Of course, that doesn't make him make it so he can't get hurt, but it means he can't feel the pain when he does get hurt. So it was a very cool episode, there was good points, but there was a few weak points, and we'll talk about those too. But I really liked this episode because it showed the team sort of getting together and sort of showed off their personalities. Artemis is pretty cool. She's a pretty cool character. And Curtis is the one point I think they can do better. Curtis's character just seems like a bumbling idiot sometimes. You know, it's good to have that sort of comic relief, but they could do him a little bit better, I believe. And the T on his face in this episode, the mask, it just looked ridiculous to me, if I'm going to be completely honest. But, of course, we get some more Wild Dog, and he's sort of this, he's basically a version of Oliver from Season 1. He's not, he's the opposite of humble. He's very, he thinks he knows what he's doing, but he really doesn't all the time. And the one thing I don't like about Season 5 is, yes, I get Oliver makes mistakes, but they're always pinning the mistakes on Oliver when some of the mistakes are clearly the his new team. I really like Rory, Ragman. Ragman's just a cool character, and I really like him already. But as far as the new team, I really do like the new team, and I think the diversity's there with their different abilities, that it could be pretty great. The other team was sort of standard, of course. Diggle was the gun guy, Theo was the arrow, the archers, and of course you had Oliver and Laurel with the sticks. But this, I mean, this is a little bit cooler, and I like how Wild Dog uses weapons. But the villain was okay this week. We sort of seen the zombies before. We've seen the zombie and the Flash before, but he was cool, and how he's trying to make other villains, it sort of reminded me, or sort of trying to replicate what happened to him with his henchmen. It sort of reminded me of how Slade Wilson tried to make the different Mirakuru soldiers. It sort of had some of those undertones. The Bratva flashbacks are pretty entertaining. Of course, this episode, my one complaint is they weren't as connected to the present as the past episode. There was sort of that team theme, but it still wasn't there. And of course, we saw Thea take responsibility for her actions and Oliver clean up the mess at the end. But overall, it was a pretty great episode. I really did like it. And so I'd have to give Arrow Season 5, Episode 3, A Matter of Trust. Let's give it an 8.3 out of 10. It was a good episode, but there was a few things that could have been better. But I think Arrow's really improving this season, and hopefully it keeps improving as we get into the later episodes. Also, the little Diggle subplot was actually a little bit more connected. I'll mention that real quick. It was a little bit more cohesive, and Oliver breaking Diggle out of prison next week is going to be awesome. So I'd give it an 8.3 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Remember to like and subscribe for more reviews. And this has been Jonesy from Jonester TV signing off.